I've been away for a year now. My channel's practically dead. No one remembers me. The landscape has changed. Anime YouTubers are now streamers. Non-anime YouTubers talk about anime now. There's no space for me here anymore. But I've come back one last time to tell you about this one show that has kept me up every night since I watched it. And if by the end of this video, you're not more inclined to watch it, I'll return to my inactive slumber. So hear me out.
There had been a shoujo anime that had been recommended to me a number of times over the years by close friends because of its alluring 90s punk aesthetic, fun and lovable cast, and most of all, its great music. Being somewhat surface level that I am, I did a quick Google search, took a look at the visuals, and they seemed a little dated, so then I started to become a bit doubtful at how good this actually would be. But I needed something to watch, so... And then, before I knew it, I was 10 episodes in, yelling at my TV because Hidive had not released the rest of the episodes yet. It already had me hooked because Nana quickly became unlike anything I had ever seen before, which is ironic because from its premise, it seemed really straightforward and not like something I'd be able to relate to because it didn't seem like it would go any further than its benign sort of cutesy exterior. But no, it was entirely different from what I expected. Nana has a very dark and complex underbelly. You see, it's an anime about music, but it doesn't just capture the love and happiness that music can bring, but rather the entire gamut of emotions that come along with pursuing a lifestyle in it. It gives you an authentic picture of not just characters, but what feels like actual people trying to reconcile with their trauma by pursuing their dreams. However, it takes the concept of dreams that we so often see tackled in shows and twists them on their head to reveal how one-dimensional they can actually be. Now, I'll elaborate on that a little more later, but basically, Nana's able to do all of this through its two female leads who come from entirely different walks of life and are practically polar opposites, but it's able to bring them together through circumstances completely out of their control, almost as if by fate. And that in itself is actually made to feel very organic. They happen to end up sitting next to each other on a train heading to Tokyo. They both share the name Nana, the same age, and the same disappointment with their love lives. Because the two Nanas, one of them is actually nicknamed Hachi later on, and she's kind of more insecure, whiny, and just overall a lot to handle, while the other one is cool, aloof, and more of the musician type. So you'd think they'd maybe get on each other's nerves when they meet, but they're able to find their differences charming, and it brings a sort of lightheartedness and comfort to their already troubled lives whenever they're together. It's this chance encounter and their decision later on to move in together as roommates that is able to form an enduring connection between them that's able to stand firm in some of the toughest moments that the series brings. Like, I won't say much, but at one point, Nana is ready to throw hands for Hachi's sake, and it's glorious. From there, it branches out to other characters who also have troubled pasts and are trapped by an image of the life they think they want, of the way society has fed them that they should be. For example, Nana fights against this very thing. Having abandonment issues caused by her mother, the role of a family life, being a wife, and a mother only has negative connotations for her. That's why her fight is against conformity. She strives to be strong, independent, and most of all, her own person. She does this by setting her sights big and aiming to be a rock star with her band known as Blast. Whereas for Hachi, she blindly follows the traditional dream of being a housewife with a picture-perfect family because she herself feels ordinary and dull as a person. It doesn't help that in this world, much similar to ours, ideas such as love, happiness, and dreams are idealized, romanticized, and propagated by not just the media in the show, but the very music their rival band, the mega successful Trap Nest, plays. Even though to the public and to the fans, they might seem like these out-of-reach, larger-than-life characters, they're also shown to us as just humans who are far from happy. Nana gives us an inner look into their lives and how fame, while alluring, can just serve as a cage where your dreams go to die. The characters are written so enticingly complex that you can't help but want to know more in order to get a clearer read on why they continue to do what they do, even if it makes them unhappy. But Nana isn't just about the music biz, which does serve as a vehicle to bring these characters together and tie them down, often quite literally, because they're all really possessive. At its core, it's about relationships. This isn't limited to relationships between lovers, but also between friends. Many of these characters are so afraid of being alone, but due to past trauma, they all handle it and show it in different ways. And this allows the show to explore what it means to give too much or too little of yourself in a relationship, and the detrimental effects it can have on the people around you. These are toxic relationships between broken people that can only see and react through the lens of that trauma, and what manifests when they understandably don't find the courage to confront it, sometimes before it's too late. But what absolutely fucked me up watching Nana was seeing its commitment to consequences. Consequences that are often painful, that'll make you wish you didn't exist while you're watching. Now that sounds really negative, but I didn't want to be there because it builds up these characters so well and so organically that even if you see the train wreck coming miles away, you can't let go because you've been made to feel like you know these people and you need to know what happens to them next. And then instead of releasing the pressure, it makes the characters live with their new realities, which makes you mourn the loss of everything that came before, all of the good times. But this is what makes Nana so real and by effect special, because it doesn't pull back its punches, and like life, it doesn't have a reset button. Even though I really wish it did, it takes you along for the ride and commits, and by the time you're done watching, it lingers, it bothers you, these characters' choices haunt you. But by this point, you're in too deep already, you're too invested, you're now trapped in a toxic relationship with Nana. I'm kidding, I'm not. Nana goes to a place where few shows dare to go. It's a very raw experience with such sincere and gut-wrenching moments that I'll never forget, honestly. You see characters get what they want, but they're not happy because the show makes you slowly realize that dreams are just that, dreams. They don't take into account what goes into making them happen, the type of life you'll have to lead, the type of person you'll have to become in order to get there, and if you'll even like it. And while that might seem like a bit bleak and depressing, it's incredibly thought-provoking and gets you to really root for these characters to find their true meaning of happiness. Now, some may view Nana as just another shoujo, which I know aren't taken too seriously by the community. Others will see all the twists and turns and just, scoff at it, saying it's just another soap opera, or even just a cautionary tale, which is pretty effective at that. But I believe that Nana is much more than any of these labels. It's about life, it's about people, it's about hope. Even though life might seem at its darkest, even though it might seem that you've made all the wrong choices and there's no coming back for you, as long as you're living, there's still a chance to see something different tomorrow. Even though all of that might seem really obvious, Nana effectively illustrates through its characters that life is not about reaching the perfect ideal or having to be fulfilled at every moment. It's about learning to take the good together with the bad and accept that all of it is equally valid in the human experience. And then, only then, can you truly start connecting with the people that matter. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments, give the video a like, and if you haven't already, I know there's not a lot of incentives since I just, kind of came back after a year. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, support me, let me know that you like what I'm putting out, and maybe that'll motivate me to keep going. Besides that, I'm OniMaru, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.